Welcome to Journey with Josh. I'm Josh Ubaldi, and we're taking you on a journey of a lifetime into marketing and advertising. Together, we'll solve every mystery about marketing you've ever come across so you can get all the leads and sales you want, and best of all, how to grow a business you truly love. Welcome back to Journey with Josh. I'm Josh Ubaldi, your online advertising go-to resource. And today we are going to dive into what it's really like to actually have your ads done for you. Because certainly over the years, plenty of people have said to me, Josh, just do my ads for me. And other people have said to me, what is this process going to be like? And other people have been like, I have no idea what really to expect if ads are going to get done for me. Like, obviously, right, you're going to do my ads and ads are going to be out there in the world and I don't have to touch them, but what's that process actually like? So today I thought, after the last time where we talked about really like the 5 high performance, high powered things that you get when you have ads done for you, I thought today we kind of simplify things and just talk a little bit about what it's really like when you have ads done for you. So let's just take a moment and kind of walk through the process. I think things have changed quite a bit, and I don't really want to take this moment to really take a walk down memory lane and describe exactly how things have changed. If you find that anything I say makes you curious, please just ask me the question. I am not hesitant or shy about answering how things have changed so much, but things really have changed quite a bit. And so how we work now is actually really different from how we worked 5 years ago, for example, because tech has changed quite a lot. So let's say that you're in a position where you're thinking, gosh, I would just love to have my ads done for me. Now, maybe not surprising, I do work with like a very across the board spectrum of people. So for a moment, you think right now about where you are in this process as I describe this, and you're going to kind of see where this might slot in for you. So on one end of the spectrum, I really work with people who are brand new to online business, right? They may be brand new to their course or their coaching or whatever service or program they're offering. They've never put basic things in place for the most part. Maybe they've taken a course or two or, gotten a tool and put a course together. But now what? Now, how do you get people to come there? And I work with those people. I work with the large group of people in between who are, as they say, just dangerous enough to create a lot of havoc inside the ads manager when they're doing their own ads. And then in the other end of the spectrum, we really work with people who could totally do their own ads and have done their own ads and have gotten great results. And they just now want to outsource it and have someone else do it and keep their results really consistent. So as you might imagine, if depending on where you are in that spectrum, your experience is going to be a bit different. But no matter what, right, your experience in having ads done for you is going to start to become very consistent, no matter what your business, no matter what your industry, no matter what your audience is like. And the thing that I think is surprising to most people is that there's so much uniformity, no matter the offer, the business, the audience, right? We want to ultimately use this opportunity of doing your ads for you to help you customize exactly what is going to work for your specific offers, your business, and most importantly, for your audience and your unique relationship with your audience inside your industry. Because you may have competitors or peers in the same industry, but their audience is going to be a little different. Your offers are going to be a little different, and how you choose to relate to your audience is going to be a little different. So let's see what this process actually turns into. So the first thing that we always do is this. To some degree, we come online with you, and we come into we schedule a Zoom meeting and we come online and we talk through the process. We talk through what your goals are with advertising. We talk through why specifically now this is a good time for you to consider having your ads done for you, or maybe you're in a launch period or you're in a pre-launch period or whatever these types of things are. We're kind of just getting the basics in place. But more importantly, you are getting a chance to see what it might be like to be working with someone like me? Do you like me? Do you feel like you can get to know me? Do you feel like you can get to trust me? It'll always come back to know, like, and trust. And then you may be happy to know, and maybe sometimes it's a little jarring to know, it's a two-way street. I also will, in the course of that conversation, think, is this someone I could get to know and also like to work with and trust that this is going to be a good experience for both of us across the board, right? Long gone are the days where I will just work with anybody and all of the nightmares and the vampires and the truly difficult people who will never have the emotional intelligence to know that they might be a touch challenging. I don't work with those people. I also don't come across them very much. So if you are actually coming across this, you're probably not that person, and you'd be shocked. You'd be shocked. Some of the people I've worked with for over the years. And if you just think in your life, some of the difficult people that you have around, that you want to avoid, that you don't want to have to engage with, that you don't this, that, or the other, right? It's always the same, right? My goal is for you and I to both have the very best experience as we make your ads work, right? There's a couple big things that always stand out, which is, number one, we are not curing cancer, right? So it's not the most extraordinary thing that has the most pressure to it at all times. No one should feel like there is any type of gun to their head or like a pressure that creates so much stress. If many business owners do actually operate in that place and we're not the right person for them, they're not the right person for us, they won't enjoy working with our drama-free environment. And that's a good thing to know. There are plenty of people who will deal with all of that and take the money and not really care what the results often are. But we don't want that. We want you to have a great experience. I want me and my team of people supporting us to have the best experience. And ultimately, I know for a fact at this point, it's not just a feeling or it's not just something that I wonder about. I know that the energy of all of this goes into the ads and the marketing, and it gets passed on to your people. Where there's huge amounts of stress in the business process, it gets passed on to people, and they don't oftentimes take those ultimate offers that you're looking for. So this is now a good place to say, before we dive into what the process is like after we meet and if we decide to move forward, it's a great time to remind you of the given that we work no matter what, with everything that we do, no matter who it is, wherever they are in that continuum of their business, which is really great advertising is always really, really easy when it is the end step of really great marketing. Let me say that again. Great advertising becomes very, very easy when it's the final step of really great marketing. And that is now oftentimes what differentiates us in a big way from other advertising businesses, because we get in there and we upgrade all of your marketing with you. And I can't overstate that enough, because over the years, as this business has gotten expanded so much with referrals especially, and I have just taken what's come my way in the past, and I have just accordingly really worked with people I even didn't want to necessarily work with, even if I knew I could help them, right? You know, that's something that, you know, personally, I always have my mom in the back of my mind. She's like, you could do that, you could do that, you could do that. And that's not great, right? I had to shed a lot over the years to say, I can do a lot of things. Some people can't do much at all. And that's fine. If they stay in their lane and they're happy, life is hopefully perfect for them. I could actually do a lot of things. I don't want to do a lot of things. I want to do what I enjoy and what I'm great at. And along those lines, right, what I realize I'm really, really proficient and helpful with people with is getting aligned all of the other marketing stuff that actually makes their ads work. Like I said at the start, I'm not going to bore you about all the things that have changed over the years, but I will take a moment to say that over the past 4 years, especially 3 to 4 years, especially, what I could do before, I could almost effectively just have a meeting with someone, have them send me some things, and get fantastic results across the board. They almost didn't really have to get involved. And tech has changed so much, and we don't do that anymore. It's much more of a partnership. And it doesn't mean that you need to be with me. Please no. 24/7. You need to contact me 24/7. Please no. There's no need. We're going to make this process work so effortlessly. But ultimately, it is much more of a partnership. There's more give and take because we want you to get the best return and results as completely as possible. And that means that this great advertising is able to happen when it's the final step of great marketing. And that's what we've discovered over the years. So much of marketing by so many businesses who've been in so many random programs who are like, just do this and you'll get this, just do this and you'll get this, right? Ultimately, what we know is a lot of people have cobbled their businesses together and they haven't gotten the results that they want. And it's a lot of shiny objects, but most important, they're not getting what they want. They're not getting what they want. And that means a lot of things are just like Frankenstein being pieced together and there's not a lot of rhyme or reason. We want to help you align all those things. And then you start to really get truly awesome advertising results. That is making the true most of your budget, because that's the one thing that I've also noticed is I've taken clients from other perfectly fine agencies where the ad results are good. Why aren't the ultimate sales results the results people want? Why aren't more people coming into the webinar? Why don't more people join the challenge? Why don't more people show up live? Why don't more people engage more and then ultimately buy more, right? Those are the things that we've filled more gaps over just using this filter of advertising. So how does it look like? What does this look like ultimately? After we meet live and we decide to work together, how will this unfold? Well, very simply, we will have a couple meetings, usually in the first week if we can. If everybody has enough flexibility, we're going to have a couple pretty long Zoom meetings and we are going to get on the same page and put your business on the whole into focus. Some people I realize are really surprised where they're like, right, I'll periodically get the random email that's like, I'd like to try some ads out for my $47 product. And that's not my business. My business, I could put those ads together for you, but without any context and without a longer term plan with a advertising upfront budget for advertising, those businesses, they take like 10 times longer to actually get results because they're only focused on short term and they're not focused on how to make the most of what oftentimes for people, right? If you think about it, your advertising is usually the very biggest, it's kind of like buying a house, right? If you think about like what's the biggest purchase for a random person over their entire lifetime, for most people, it's not going to be a car, right? You may get a really deluxe car and that car may be $80,000 to $280,000. And that may be a really deluxe car. But if you can afford that deluxe car, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, you're probably going to get a house that is, depending on where you are in the country, over $500,000 and maybe closer to $2.5 million, right? You're buying your own home is going to be for a private individual, the biggest investment that they're going to make in their lifetime. And equivalently, advertising and this type of paid element of marketing is usually going to be the biggest investment you're ever going to make in your business. You already make certain investments in your business, right? You already pay for your CRM, right? Your email service provider, your customer relationship manager. You pay for the tool that hosts your website and you pay for whoever manages, right? Email and other different things that you have keeping you engaged with people. But those are little costs and they're consistent month to month to month. Advertising, where you start to take control, is the biggest cost. And that's why people who are like, oh, I'm just going to try some ads for this $47 product. We'll see how it goes, right? They are not thinking short or long term, right? Because if it just kind of goes well, they'll do it a little more. This is the biggest investment you're ever going to make in your business, probably, right? Almost across the board, the biggest upfront investment. Because unlike other things, you're paying for the ads no matter what happens. So we got to control that risk right from the start. We want to control all of these things in a healthy way, in a not attached, crazy pressure, stress-filled way. We want to do it where there's a clear strategy, there's clear principles, and we keep it organized. So we have the meeting. We discuss and we talk in 2 meetings, usually over the first week. We dive into the business. We figure out, what are your first offers going to be? What do you want? What have you really come here for? What do you want to use your advertising for? Which offers are you going to put out there? And how do they relate together, right? We have over the years totally specialized in people who use any kind of launch model. It could be a 4-video series launch. It could be webinar or challenge launches. It could be email launches. It could even be launches that are periodically done just through sales calls and one-on-one sales, right? All of those things essentially use the same type of events to go through. So we're going to sit there and talk through all of these things, right? I want to understand your business and your offers, not so I can make a bunch of changes in your business. I want to see how you're envisioning things. But most of all, when we understand the offers and the flow of your offers, then we actually can start to figure out your ROI. We can figure out how numbers are going to work for your specific business and offers. And a lot of businesses start to slot into the same type of patterns, but we still want to customize as much as we can for you. And that's really the key of what we're doing. Like, we're always using proven ads processes that are going to get you great results, but we're customizing as much as possible for how you want to set your business up and you want to get results, but how you can also do that and start getting a return as quickly as possible, right? You always want to break even as fast as possible, whatever you're putting out, get back as fast as possible, and then you enter, and we help you enter that zone of profit as quickly as possible. That might be one conversation. And these days, it usually is its own conversation. And you get to also tell me all your other marketing goals. And we get to align all of these different things that may be outstanding and you still have to work on, or things that are unclear. And we also get to talk about what's working and what's not working, because something about your audience means that they're having a great time or a less than great time on your customer journey, right? So 2 givens, of course, that we're always working with. Great ads are always the result of great advertising, but great marketing, right? But great marketing always starts and ends with this customer journey where someone literally comes to know you from being a total stranger, and they have all these dots connected as they know, like, and trust you, and they become a customer. And I want to understand the customer journey you're giving your people. And oftentimes I'm going to discover that you're not giving your people much of a customer journey. And that may be why your results are not growing the way you want, and why your results maybe have not scaled the way you expected them to, or maybe other people have told you to, right? When people come into my world for having ads done for them, we are now firmly in the zone of implementation, right? It's not nice ideas where you go to a training and you take notes and you're all excited when you leave. It's very easy for those people who get you all excited to get you to make one more sale. If you come into my world and you're like, I'm gonna connect with my audience and really grow this business, you're now here for implementation. And I've discovered over the years, there's a huge difference between the people who come from the rah-rah events and isn't that great, and then they're like, I'm not sure what to do next. Or I've done that and it didn't work, and now I don't know what to do. We're gonna take care of that with you, because that is the suffering that I've constructed my advertising business to help you work through. Because I hate to see suffering, and now I help you work through it, through this filter of advertising. So we talk through your offers, we talk through your customer journey, we talk through the way we can possibly get your return back as fast as possible to pull you into that zone of profit. And then separately, we talk about the ads, right? We talk about not necessarily what I'm most excited about, but we talk about where the potential and the opportunities and the options are. Now, it's important to say here that there's not just one way to make an ad. But it's even more important for me to confirm and reiterate what I may have said before, which is there's nothing intuitive or automatic about advertising. You have to tell this system everything that you want it to do. And how do I know that? It's not me making a sales pitch. It's me noticing if ads were so easy and anybody could just put some stuff out there, everybody would be spending $100 and be making $10,000 back. Or everybody would be spending $1,000 and be making $100,000 or $1 million back. But that's not happening. That's not what I see. If you are the 0.00001 outlier, congrats, and I'm glad, and you don't need me. But most people are not that outlier. Most people need a bit of more structure and more of the marketing elements totally filled in that are completely missing to actually give their audience a decent customer journey, let alone start to give them a really great adventure of a customer journey, which is what we also want to make sure we're supporting you in. So in this first week, right, we talk about your business, and then we talk about your ads, and then we bring you through the onboarding process, which, onboarding, it's no big deal, right? We have everything so streamlined, and we're working with checklists, and we're going back and forth with you and or your team to get what we need to have access for ads. And then two kind of separate but parallel things start to happen. And this is where things start to get really good. So the first thing, obviously, which is usually what has brought you into my world in the first place, is we start getting active inside your ads manager. But before we do that, we have now translated everything you've said in random concepts for your launch or your ads plan. I think we should do this. I think we might do that. And we could do this. And people will go from here to here. And these are the dates. And this is this. We translate all of that random stuff, which people never use the same words for, pretty much, because everyone's cobbled together all this random marketing information. And we translate that into a black and white plan to make your ads get executed. And that takes everything up multiple notches, because now you get to see in black and white what your audience is really about to experience. Because the thing I've discovered along the way is what you think seems obvious and super clear and a no-brainer, right? I will never use the word no-brainer, and I hate it, because what people portray as a no-brainer for their audience to take the offer, what people, their peers, their friends, the people in their coaching programs, they're like, dude, that's a no-brainer. Oh my God, it's so good. It's a no-brainer. People are going to buy it left and right. Well, what happens when they don't buy it? What happens when they don't move forward? Right? We want to put something in place where you have some idea of why they may not be moving forward, a way to find out why they may not be moving forward beyond guessing, and then next step, how you actually fix that. And the ads contribute and support all of those things if you ask them to. Now, my team and I will ask them to, as long as we work with you clearly enough so you know what we're asking and you know what you're asking for. Because we want to shift everything from this zone of force, and sales might be sleazy. Well, why might sales ever be sleazy? Because they're forceful, right? Sales are always icky feeling and bad when it feels like someone's being forced to take the next step, right? You never have to do that, right? You can stay aligned and know that you're providing a really beautiful solution to whatever your audience's problem is, and there's no force involved, right? There's no reason for even a momentary inkling of sales is sleazy to come up, but people do have that for personal reasons. Now, I'm not here as a therapist, despite the Q&A segment of this, which is marketing therapist. I listen to quite a few things and usually help quite a few people there too, but at the end of the day, right, we get to shift you fast, at least, if you're like, this feels a little sleazy. And you're like, well, what is sleazy? If there's any sleazy element, let's remove it immediately from all of your marketing, not just your ads. Hey, it's Josh here. Are you finally ready for advertising that works every single time? If so, then download the 3 T's of great advertising right now. We're going to give you our simple 3-step system that quite literally works every time for ads that do the job time and again. And as well, we're also going to give you the 7 marketing must-haves. These are the main principles so you can get the absolute most out of your investment in any type of Facebook and Instagram ads and beyond. Don't hesitate. Let's get started today and make this super simple. It's certainly not rocket science, and there's no smoke and mirrors. Download it today at www.goldenringmarketing.com/get started. One more time, that's www.goldenringmarketing.com/get goldenringmarketing.com/get started. And we'll see ya on the other side. Ultimately, right, we want to keep you in this place of creating momentum and using the ads to create momentum and using the ads to get more answers and data and information, while also obviously doing the obvious things like bringing you leads, growing your audience, expanding the people who are there for you to start identifying your ideal client among them much better, right? And we need to start filling in all of these gaps. So we start the onboarding process, we get access, we fill out and translate all of your plans into the actual advertising plan. We then, if you're especially doing a launch, we then pull everything apart so you know what's happening every single day of your launch. If you're like, okay, I am gonna put this out there on June 1st for people to join a webinar, and then on June 30th, let's say that the program's gonna begin and you're gonna offer this webinar on June 30th, and then they're gonna buy, and then actually they're gonna have an open cart period for a week, and that second week of June, your 6-week program is starting, right? That's a really common thing. It's not the only thing that we do, but it's a really common thing that we do. And then what happens, right? And then we're gonna be able to say to you, well, here's what's gonna happen every day from June 1st until July 8th, until your cart closes, but it's not over yet because we want you to have downsells and other types of offers and profit maximizers. We want you to upgrade all of the different options coming into you. And we will literally walk you through that to help you customize and do that for yourself. So you're always going to bring a starting element of information, and we want to help you also upgrade all of that to truly make the very most of your advertising investment. We will never, ever, ever, ever make a recommendation or not be fully conscious of the fact that you are spending a dollar, quarter, dime, nickel, or even penny. And now I see people getting certain results for certain offers inside where they're getting results for 0.004 cents for something like a video view or something, right? And that's a beautiful thing. You can be spending little bits, and we want to even make the most of that. So we start onboarding you and we start going through this process, and then we start putting ads together for you. We create your ad campaigns, and then it's back and forth, right? While we're doing all of these things, once we spell out the plan and create something to show you what's happening day by day by day, we work with you and we work with your team to get everything that we need, because we need, of course, what are called deliverables. Now, what are your deliverables? Let's just take a quick second because it's not rocket science. It's not super complicated, right? With advertising, you have very specific set deliverables every single time, right? So if we're doing Facebook and Instagram ads, for example, and you may be doing just Instagram ads or just Facebook ads, we need your links and your URLs. That's exactly right. Please never forget. Everything starts and ends with these deliverables and URLs. So we are going to make sure that we have everything we need so we know where the ad is going to send people to when they get to the ad. And we also know what we're going to use to track the results of all of your different campaigns, because we want you to have black and white results of what's working and which ads are working and which audiences are working, so that you can then use that to build forever, and certainly going forward at all times. Next thing, we're going to deal with the two main elements of ads, which are really the things that people are thinking about most often when they consider their advertising, which is your creative. Of course, your creative is just your visual element, right? Your videos or your images. So we will work with you to make sure that we have the very best branded creative that we can have from you for your advertising. And if you need help, we provide plenty of resources and design options for you to actually provide and create the very best content. And then we also need your copy. Your copy is going to come to us usually in one major format, because we know that the formats and processes we use for your ads, which have so much to do with mental triggers or psychological triggers, the things that we know move people forward, get people to take the next step. We love doing this for you. So we trust writing most of your advertising copy ourselves, but if you want to give us your actual copy, you can also do that. We'll be glad to take it. We may make some adjustments for compliance. We're going to make sure you're really, really clear about complying with the rules of the tool that is Facebook. Right? Facebook and Instagram have their own rules, and they are tools that we're using to get your word and your message and expansion of your audience out there. But we have to follow their rules, and that's compliance. So we're going to get that. We're going to maybe make some changes. We're going to make sure everything is really by the book and clear, but still very compelling for people. And we're going to get your deliverables. And then we're going to make your campaigns. And then we're just going to simply work with you to stick to your schedule. And whenever your ads are meant to go live, your ads are going to go live. And whenever we're going to start the next piece of the process, we're going to work with you to have everything done in advance as much as possible. We know that many businesses are always in a rush and behind, and in the middle of launch, it's crazy, crazy, crazy. We know. We've been there. We see it left and right, and we're okay. We're going to do everything we can to plan everything so clearly, with as little stress and no drama up front, that you will just be gently reminded, hey, we need your video by tomorrow. Do you think, can we get it by tomorrow? Hey, we need your video by Friday. Do you think you can get it to us by Wednesday night, maybe Thursday, whatever it is? And we want to support you in making creation of content or making anything else get easier and easier. The thing I realized I did forget to say is, if we're writing your copy and you're not providing copy, which is 98% of the time, where are we getting the copy? Your content, right? We get to use sales copy if the offer is for sale from your sales page. We get to use landing page copy for some other non-sale offer from your landing page. And we may get your emails, and we may use some of your email content, and we may use this and that and all the rest of it, but we're going to compile all that for you, and we're going to make it compelling so that your audience does take the next step that we know they can, while making sure that they're, getting guided clearly and simply to take the next step. Okay, so that's the ads element. That's getting ads up and running. There's this separate stream that I mentioned, though, that we're always also doing with you. So in my business, I don't have minimums, right? I don't have minimum monthly ad spend so you could possibly get results. We will talk about your budget and what your best budgeting options are. And we will guide you and recommend certain things for you. And we will tell you, with this budget, you're going to expect these things. With that budget, you're going to expect these things. If you want to increase it a bit, great. If you want to start a little lower, that's possible too. We're going to tell you all those things so that you have both peace of mind, but also somewhat clarity about how these decisions get made so you can lead the decisions going forward, because they're not just for ads, by the way, right? These type of decisions are like your bigger marketing decisions. And I know at this point, I would say 80% of people, their Facebook, Instagram their Facebook, it's so dry here. It started to get warm and it's really dry in here. But their Facebook and Instagram results provide 80% of their results in their business and their sales and their leads. So it's really important that you don't just rely on the person, quote unquote, doing your ads to just get you these results, because you're most likely not just selling widgets. You're not just selling little cheap stuff that's throwaway. You have a mission in your business. If you are following any of my content, you have a mission you are fulfilling. And to do that better and reach and connect with your audience and fulfill your own mission better, you will get stronger at your own marketing. It doesn't mean you need to spend 90% of your time in your marketing. And what is that little 10% of time you get to actually work in your business doing what you love? It's so not that. It's so much more just getting the most out of every effort you're actually taking and making, and shedding all the bull that you don't need anymore, and creating more and more circumstances so you can engage with your future buyers. Because no matter what, and no matter what anybody tells you, even for the best, most proven offers, the best offers ever, evergreen stuff still needs somebody to say across the board, more often than not, is this right for me? So we want to make sure that you start to really know what that is like and have now the best expectations. So this parallel stream with no minimums, no minimum monthly, no minimum spend, no minimum you have to work with us month to month to month indefinitely for X amount of months or you break your contract. None of that. But what we do say we're going to do with you is we are going to spend the first 8 weeks together and we are going to customize and upgrade all of your marketing for your specific business, for your specific offers, so that you really are aware of what your expectations can be and how you get to nudge all of your results and your ROI higher and higher and higher, faster and faster. That's what really this is about. It could be about just having some ads done for you. And granted, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, more now, right? Sometimes I'd have done that. I don't do it anymore. I want people to fulfill their purpose and fulfill their mission and love their business doing it. And that now is something that the way I've designed things is what we can do together. So we come live for 8 weeks and we upgrade and customize everything for you. And we get to oftentimes blow your mind with the opportunities that are there for you. We put things in place for you to get your money back even faster in terms of your ad spend, especially, right? You may come in to this experience where you're like, I can spend $1,000 a month. Other people, I can spend $10,000 a month. Other people, I can spend $50,000 a month. But most people are starting in a place where they're like, I'm comfortable spending $30 a day, which over 30 days is $900. And I want to see what that does. Can that work? We are going to spell all that out. But believe me, I have worked in the past and now with people who are like, I just want to start with $5 a day. And if you know that your budget and your world and your capital requires you to start at $5 a day, I can still take care of you. Maybe I'm not going to do your all of your ads for you, but we still have the resources for you to get started and do it yourself for $5 a day. And that is not a disservice to you or me to say that. But if you have different resources, you're going to light a fire under yourself a little differently to get to the place where you can have someone take over like me. But if you have just enough resources where you don't need to spend $5 a day only, no matter what. By the way, $5 a day comes out to just under $2,000 a year. That's what this starts and ends with, right? Are you expecting to at least make in your business $2,000 a year? If so, then you should at least be doing $5 a day for yourself and really get the process under your feet. That is something always available to you. Okay, so we're going to meet with you 8 weeks in a row. Is this a lot of time? Heck, yes, it is. This is a time investment. Why is it a time investment and why do we ask a time investment from you? Because I know this is probably the single biggest investment upfront you will ever make in your business. Just like buying a house is the single biggest investment you will make in your private life. And we want to make sure that you are giving yourself a foundation for massive growth and not trying things out and it didn't work out. And then you become one of the litany of people who say things like Facebook ads just don't work or Facebook ads just don't work for me. It's so not true for 90% of the people, right? Facebook ads can work for 90% of the people who say they don't work for them because there's no structure and strategy. And that's what we're going to ensure is black and white for you. We are going to sit with you and clarify your customer journey. But of course, there's not just one way to skin a cat, just like there's not just one way to run an ad. So we're going to go over your different options and we're going to help you make choices. And we may even help you expand your team if it's something that's interesting to you. You don't want to do as much as you currently do on your own, even if you have other team members. And we are also going to make sure that you understand why things are happening the way they are. Because the thing we've discovered in 10 years of doing this, no matter what, the same things work repeatedly, not all the time and not for everybody and not in the exact same ways, but the same consistent things work over and over. They're proven. They are what we call best practices. And we are going to fill in and upgrade all the marketing in this Frankenstein of a marketing non-focus that you have cobbled together. Because I guarantee if you don't feel, right, you may have a sales process. But if you have a sales process, but you don't feel like, do I have a marketing process? My marketing process is emailing my list once a month and posting 3 times a day. Like, that's not a marketing process. That is a plan for some social posting and a plan for email that you're probably, tell me if I'm right, you're probably not really tracking to see what to do more of or less of. That is actually then getting you results. And that's what we're going to fill in for you. It's such a relief, honestly, right? The reason I literally, after 2021, stopped just doing ads for people, where they stopped saying, here, Josh, you take this, you do it, don't bother me. I stopped doing that because those people, no matter where they came from, literally stopped getting results. That's because of tech and big tech changes. It's not your problem. I don't want you to really become a historian and an expert on why all this stuff changed why ads work. It's not your problem. It was my problem, but now I'm going to shift that into not making it your problem, but I'm going to do you one better and say, I'm going to give you a whole process where we upgrade all of your marketing, and you can make literally, you have a system that is designed to bring a lot more revenue to your business, all while having your ads done for you and building a community of ideal future customers, because it doesn't happen automatically. How many times have you joined programs for sales offers, right? People who help you sell things so you can sell more things, and it didn't work out. And now you don't know what next steps to take. And you're not sure why what you're doing isn't working. And you're not sure why what you did didn't work. We're usually going to fill in those gaps. It's very important at this point for me to say, as we really round up here, which is to say, I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the answers. I don't know literally everything there is about Facebook. And why does that really not matter? Let me tell you a little inside secret, because when I talk to the Facebook marketing pros or the tech pros, I speak to the Facebook people who work for Facebook, and they don't know either. They also, sometimes I know more about the business model of launching than they ever do because they don't come across it. And I tell them how we use it, and they're like, wow, how cool. But that's not really why it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because here's the deal. You don't need to know everything to start getting multiple 6 or 7-figure results. Let me say it again, because it's kind of like momentous. Time out. You don't need to know everything to get multiple 6 or 7-figure results, but you do need to know all the things that we're going to talk about and customize for your business in these first 8 weeks, whatever you choose to do after the 8 weeks. And we are going to insert all of those things into your advertising plan and your ads. And we're going to give you a jumping off point to connect with your audience on a very different, more connected, more aligned, holistic way and level, where you are connected to your audience, where your marketing is a bridge to your people and not an obstacle causing you to climb walls and you hating your life and your business. And ultimately, something that lets you connect all the dots for your people along this customer journey as they go from stranger, not only to superfan, but to customer. That's nothing short of what we're trying to do here. I don't ever want to just do ads for you. And I'm glad to do your ads. I think it's something hugely valuable and 100% worthwhile. And no matter what, sometimes people come to us just to only do retargeting, where we make sure we do retargeting for people who've seen offers but not taken them, whatever the offer is. And sometimes at this point, people don't even want the advertising, and they just come for the marketing upgrades because they realize their cobbled together Frankenstein of a business is full of holes and they don't know what to do next. But this is implementation. that will fill in those gaps for the most important things. You don't need to know everything to get the results you're looking for, but you do need to have an awareness of why what you're doing may not be working and also how to fix it. And I oftentimes confidently say to people, I know why your marketing isn't working. I know why your advertising isn't working, but it's not because I have all the answers and I know everything. It's completely not that. It's just because I know enough of what it takes to have real results and return happen without you needing to have all the answers. So let's take that stress off the table and just shove it aside. Let's remove those obstacles that like, oh, when everything is in place, then there's results. Let's move that all aside. Ultimately, when you have your ads done with us, you get to fulfill so many other things when you do it with this additional parallel element of upgrading your marketing and giving you a deeper connection to your audience. So I hope that clarifies what some of this is like. I think I probably should end this by saying what does happen after this 2 months, right? Because many people will work with us long term. They'll work with us once a year because they launch once a year over a month. Many people work with us twice a year, maybe 2 times over the year for a month. Sometimes people's launches last for 3 months and we work for them for 3 months. And other people, obviously, we work month to month to month to month to month, growing their list, using lead magnets, testing content, doing all sorts of more advanced things that they understand now and they're happy and clear to invest in, right? It's no longer gambling at all. We've made sure we've taken gambling off the table completely and removed that element. So we're quite flexible. So we want to set things up in your business to fill in those gaps so that you're never just in that place of, I've got a $47 offer and I just want to give ads a try. And if it doesn't work, ads don't work. So not the case. And I hope sharing this information with you has a little bit more clarified why that really doesn't work and why there's more to it, because it's a major investment in your business. And we want you to take it as seriously as it is. We can never take your money more serious than you, but we will do the best as stewards of your money inside the advertising experience in order to help you grow your own revenue, knowing that we're partnered with you, because that is what it is, nothing short. We get to partner with you. And then down the road, if you want to work with us and not do ads, we'll do that. If you want to have someone on your team you work with us periodically and come into the mastermind membership, we'll do that, right? We can work with you in so many different ways, but we never want to just leave you floating in the ether as if it's like that Sandy Bullock space movie where someone got connected and now they're just floating in space and nothing good will happen, right? Ultimately, we will take care of you in the long term. Because if you care for your business and you care for your audience and your mission, we will support you caring for your audience and your mission. If you have more questions, let me know. I would love to answer them. I love when people want to understand this process more because there's usually a little more to it than you expect. But most of all, it usually gives you a lot more than you may have initially expected. And that's the way. I never want to say I want to like under promise and over deliver, but I really want you to feel like you love your business and understand your business better than ever so that you can grow your business exactly the way that you want to. Thank you for joining me in this episode. Of course, follow us on Spotify or YouTube. Come to goldenringmarketing.com if you want further resources or to get the 3 T's of ads that always work. Come check out the membership if that's something that's interesting for you. Or if you want to start just seeing what we're talking about on daily business, come check out our Instagram stories or something like that. We would love to get to know you and your business, and we would love to further support your mission on a completely different level in a way that maybe you haven't come across in the same way, because we're not here to just make you get 6 figures in 7 days where it doesn't work out. Ultimately, we want you to help you implement and see what it takes and that you can do what it takes to get the results you want. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.